Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on True Confessions Naija. The story you're about to listen to comes from a message we received from one of our sisters, and it reads like this. Good morning, Uncle Ori. Hello, everyone. My name is, for safety reasons, I won't mention my real name, but I'm a young woman from Zimbabwe. Today, I want to share a story that has haunted me for years. I have never told anyone this story in full, not even my closest family, but I feel like if I don't share it now, it will ruin me slowly. Please listen to me carefully, because what I went through in South Africa is something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. It all started during the lockdown, right before the borders were completely closed. At that time, I had a boyfriend, or at least I thought he was my boyfriend. I met him online. He claimed to be South African. His accent, his confidence, the way he switched between languages, it all convinced me that he was truly from there. When we started dating, he would speak Zulu, Xhosa, Afrikaans, and even French fluently. I was so impressed. I thought, wow, I've really met a man who is smart, educated, and worldly. But the truth is, up until today, I still don't know where this man was actually from. He eventually convinced me to visit him in South Africa. He paid for my flight, which made me trust him even more. I thought, a man who spends money to bring me to him must truly love me. I was young, only 22, and I believed in love more than I believed in common sense. When I arrived at the airport, he came to pick me up, but strangely, he wasn't alone. He had another man with him. At the time, I didn't think much of it. Maybe he just came with a friend to welcome me, right? But looking back now, that was the first red flag. He smiled at me, hugged me, and then casually asked for my passport. He said, "Let me check when your visa expires so I can book another flight for you later." Innocent me. I just handed it over. Little did I know that was the last time I would truly have control over my own passport. He discreetly handed it to his friend, and I never questioned it, not until it was too late. As we drove to his house, something felt strange. Before we even reached his neighborhood, he told me, "Babe, I need you to hide in the boot of the car." I was shocked. I asked why, and he explained that his estate had very tight security, armed guards, fingerprint scanners, and neighborhood patrols linked directly to home affairs. He claimed that if they saw me, they might harass me for not being a citizen. I should have refused. I should have run. But I was in a foreign country, in love and scared. So I climbed into the boot of his car like a piece of luggage. When we got to his house, I was blown away. It was massive, beautiful, luxurious, the kind of place you only see in magazines. He told me rich people from all over the world stayed in that estate. I felt lucky to be with him, even though part of me was uneasy. But that uneasiness grew. On the first night, he told me he had a surprise. He pulled out this bizarre costume. It looked like something from a ritual. A horn mask, animal-like features. He told me to wear it. I laughed at first, thinking it was some kind of role play. But he wasn't joking. He poured me a glass of red wine. It was very dark. It looked almost like blood. The moment I drank it, my mind felt foggy. My body felt weak. It was like I had lost control. After that, he would force me into strange sexual acts while filming me. But in every video he made sure only my face and my body were visible, never his. At the time, I told myself maybe it was just his kink. Maybe he loved me in a twisted way. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. The worst part, I started saying things. One day, while he was away, I found a small coffin hidden under the couch in the lounge. A real tiny coffin. The same couch where he always insisted we sleep together. That night, I had a terrifying dream. In the dream, a young girl appeared. She was pale, lifeless, but she spoke to me. She led me to the jacuzzi in his house and told me to look inside. When I looked, I saw a dead body floating there. My heart stopped. When I turned it around, it was me. I saw myself dead in the jacuzzi. I woke up screaming, only to find him standing by my bed, watching me silently. From that day, things got worse. He became violent. He beat me whenever I refused him. He forced me into painful acts I have never experienced before. Sometimes, he would even invite his friends over. One day, he gave me that same red wine, and the next thing I knew, I woke up naked with his best friend. I don't even know if I consented. When he walked in and saw us, he beat me like an animal. After 3 months of this nightmare, he finally told me to leave. But when I begged for my passport, he refused. He said, if you go to the police or the guards, they will arrest you for being illegal. By God's grace, I had hidden a small amount of money, about $50 worth in rands. When he dumped me in the boot of his car again to sneak me out, I begged him to let me stop at the mall. He agreed, thinking I would return to him, but I had no intention of going back. Inside the mall, I wandered around terrified. I couldn't tell anyone what happened. I felt like a criminal. But then, I heard people speaking my language inside a Dubliners pizza. I approached them, desperate, and asked how I could get a bus back to Zimbabwe. They gave me directions, but I was bruised, swollen, my eyes almost shut from beatings. A kind man nearby noticed and even helped me get an Uber to the bus station. But when I got there, my money wasn't enough for a ticket. That's where another man, a mechanic, offered to help. At first, I thought God had finally sent me an angel. He said he would give me the money, but he had to fetch it from his house. Out of desperation, I followed him. And that's when it happened. He locked me inside and demanded sex as payment for helping me. I cried, I begged, but I had no choice. I gave in. He kept me there the entire day. By evening, he finally took me back to the station, bought me the ticket, and sent me on my way. After reminding me to keep quiet, when I returned to Zimbabwe, I was sick, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. At the hospital, I was diagnosed with an STI. I felt broken. But what haunted me most wasn't even the sickness or the abuse. It was the blood contract. On my very first night with him, he had forced me to sign a paper with my blood. He drew blood from me with something like a syringe and smeared it on the paper. but he never gave his blood. It was only me. To this day, I wonder, what did he do with that contract? Why did he keep it? After I escaped, he texted me only once on WhatsApp. The message said, "I know what you have done." And then he sent me a coffin emoji. After that, his account vanished. I tried to look for him on Facebook, but his account was empty. No photos, no real name, no friends. It was like he never existed. But I know he was real. My body still carries scars he left behind. Today, I'm older, but I still live in fear. Sometimes I wonder if he put a curse on me. Sometimes I dream of that coffin under the couch. Sometimes I see the dead version of myself floating in the jacuzzi. I was only 22. I thought I was in love, but instead, I walked straight into the arms of a man who might have been a Satanist, a trafficker, or something even worse. Even now, as I tell you this story, I feel like crying, but maybe by sharing, I can finally heal. So, my friends, this is my confession. Please be careful who you trust. Don't fall for sweet words online. Don't give away your passports, and never ignore the red flags. Grateful for the chance to tell my story. Can't wait to see what everyone thinks in the comments. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our sisters. Let us try to talk to her in the comment section. Things they really happen for this our world. Now, wow.